Hello, fellow COVID hostages. Today I want to drop a short video on digestion and bloating. So I actually get this question quite a bit in my clinic, and if you're the type of person that after a meal you experience symptoms such as bloating, distended stomach, uncomfortable stomach, and gas, then you probably have poor digestion. And before we get into any fancy interventions on how to deal with poor digestion, the best place to start is to look at your habits around eating. Okay, so this comes up quite a bit, and this is one of my specialties because actually this is the main reason why I became a naturopathic doctor, is because my digestion was really bad when I was in my 20s, and I went to doctors, they couldn't help me, and I just had to figure it out on my own. So there are 3 rules to what they call eating hygiene. So your habits around eating that are really important. I want to go through those. And this is specifically to deal with poor digestion and bloating, and those other symptoms we spoke about. So rule number 1, take a break to eat. Okay, now it seems like a very simple, straightforward rule, but it's actually very profound. So what I find is people that have poor digestion seem to break this rule quite a bit. And it's really important, if you want to improve your digestion, to stop what you're doing and just focus on eating. Just give yourself like 10 minutes. That's it. Take your phone, put on mute, turn it over, and just focus on eating. No typing on the keyboard, on the phone, watching a movie, get an intense conversation, driving, whatever it is. Don't do those things. And I want to explain why, but it's really hard for me to explain why without going on this long tangent. So I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. When you're active, your body emphasizes certain systems and de-emphasizes certain systems. So if you're, and one of the systems your body de-emphasizes is your digestive system. So if you're active doing things while you're eating, then you are, you are not supporting your digestion at all. You're actually inhibiting your digestion. Okay, so really important, like I said, rule number 1, stop what you're doing, take a break to eat. Okay, rule number 2, which is very, very closely related to rule number 1, chew until there's nothing left to chew. Okay, so rule number 2, chew until there's nothing left to chew. And I mean that literally. I mean you chew until there's nothing solid left in your mouth. You chew until your teeth are just clacking like this against each other. Okay, now this is really important because your digestion actually starts in your mouth. And if you're eating fast and not chewing enough and swallowing the food, you're doing a great disservice to your digestion. So rule number 1, take a break to eat. Rule number 2, chew until there's nothing left to chew. And I know, they have that rule 32 times. Never mind that rule. Just chew as much as you need to until there's nothing solid left. And I know it's boring and it takes long. But you will get used to it. Just give yourself a couple weeks. You'll get used to it and you'll feel better, and it won't seem like such a burden as it will at first. Okay. Rule number 3, don't drink while you eat. Okay. This is a rule that so many people break. It's really, I guess, culturally normal to have a big glass of water or juice or whatever it is, a little glass of wine while you're eating. And if you don't have any digestive issues, it's not really a problem. But if you do have digestive issues, then by drinking fluid while you're eating, you could be disrupting the pH of the digestive juices in your stomach and just putting more burden on your digestive system. So what I would say is experiment. I would go so far to say that you leave 30 to 45 minutes before and after your meal with no fluids, and of course during the meal. So that entire hour to hour and a half period, no fluids, and see what the difference is in your digestion after even just a week. Now, of course, if you're really thirsty or if you're eating really dry food, then take a few sips. I mean, right, that's fine. But just having that big glass of fluid is just not going to help your digestion. Okay, so those are the 3 main rules I want to go over. So take a break to eat, chew until there's nothing left to chew, and don't drink while you eat. There's a lot of other eating hygiene rules, but these are rules that I find that most people already know. Like don't eat too much, don't eat too fast, and don't eat too close to bedtime. Leave about 2 or 3 hours. Okay? That's all I wanted to talk about today. Continue asking me your questions. Most of the questions I'm getting are privately, which is totally fine, but feel free, if you have the time, to actually put a question below, because I guarantee you, if you have a question, there's at least 5, 10 other people that have the same question that are maybe too shy or don't have the time to type it in. But anyways, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.